All right, guys, I'm on my way home from my last appointment, and I just picked up my kid. So I thought it'd be a good time to talk to y'all about why it pays to always be nice. I am not a patient person when it comes to signers showing up late to appointments, or if I show up at their house and they're not there. I'm usually the 15-20 minute window person. You got 15-20 minute window, 15 to 20 minutes to be at your appointment. If you're not here, I'm out. Well, that's usually with signing services, and reason being because with signing services, their notaries are basically a dime a dozen. They can find another person to replace me just like that, and since I'm only getting a portion of the fee, I'd rather just take my trip fee and move on with my day. So with my direct clients, I am a little bit more patient, especially the ones that are really good to me, the ones that usually give me a little bit more work. I'll sit down, find something to do, read emails, pull up my laptop if I need to make sure their clients kind of quote unquote get it together. I've even gone back to appointments twice because maybe numbers aren't right, and we're not going to sign today, and then come back the next day. No big deal. No big deal. So today I had an appointment at 1 o'clock. The guy did not show up. We didn't sign papers until like almost 2:30. I was meeting him at his office today at 1 o'clock. I showed up, he wasn't there. They put me in a conference room. I sat down for about 30 minutes or so, just kind of looked on my phone, scrolled through some emails, kind of caught up on some things that I had been meaning to do. And about 30 minutes later, I looked up, I'm like, hey, is he about ready? Or, is he here? What's going on? And the lady peeked in. She was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot to call him and tell him that you were here. Now, normally I would have been okay if it was like, oh, he just called. He said he was running late. But the fact that she forgot to tell him kind of irritated me a little bit. Plus, I was hungry, and there was a guy in the conference room with me. He was eating like a salad and some other food that smelled really good. And I was like, look, I gotta go. Let me get something to eat. I'll come back about 30 minutes. Hopefully he's here, and I'll be in a better mood because I would have had some food, and I would be ready to get to business. Well, I leave, get some gas, go to the ATM. Of course, I didn't have time to get something to eat because by then it's almost 30 minutes. So I just went ahead and head back. I grabbed some candy and went back to the office, and he's still not there. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just sit and wait. I said, I'll be back. I sit down, and his son comes out, or his son didn't come out, I'm sorry. His son sends the receptionist out to me, and she hands me $100 bill. I kid you not, this has never happened to me before in my life. She hands me $100 bill, and she says, hey, his son just talked to him. He said he's on his way. Please, please, please do not leave. And I'm looking at her like, ma'am, I can't take this money. Like, I've never taken money before for any, I don't even take gifts. I've had somebody give me a bag of pecans once, and I felt like that was like appropriate for the appointment, but I limit it. I don't take tips. People will try to offer you money. I've had other people like, hey, let me cash app you $50, or like, no sir, it's already covered on the HUD. Don't give me any extra money. I'm fine. So the lady, she's like, girl, you better take this money. Like, that's just what they do. They throw money at people. Just take it. And so I take the money, or she puts it in my purse, and I don't demand to give it back. I'm like, okay, whatever. I have my little brothers watching. My little brother and my little sister are babysitting for me this week since the babysitter is out of town. I'll just give the money to them. They can split it. And 10 minutes later, the guy calls me. He's like, hey, I'm so sorry. I know we were supposed to meet at 1 o'clock. I'm on my way right now. Why don't you just meet me at Chili's? That way you'll be close to the freeway, and you can just get back to Houston from Chili's. Perfect, no problem. So I meet him at Chili's, and he's like, well, thank you so much for waiting. He pulls up in this Rolls Royce, beautiful, beautiful car, like old school, classic. Like, like this man is really doing something major, business-wise. And when he pulls up, we kind of joke about his car, like, oh, okay, that's a little fancy. He was like, oh, you think? Just really down to earth dude. We're joking, we're laughing. He buys me lunch. He's like, are you sure you don't want anything to drink? I'm insisting that water is fine. Mind you, in business, especially real estate, these people drink. Don't be scared to take a glass of wine or take a whatever. I just know it's the midday. I don't feel like drinking anything midday. A glass of water is fine. And so, I had the opportunity to really sit down and ask this man questions and, really just kind of get to know him. He did ask me some questions a little bit. Come to find out, this man is a major real estate developer. I mean, he is, I can't think of the guy's name, but the guy who owns the Rockets here in Houston, and he has all the restaurants and hotels. I can never pronounce his name, but I know it. But he jokingly says that people remind him of Donald Trump. I said, oh, you kind of remind me of a Grant Cardone, a Ben Mala. He had no idea who those two people were. But he insisted he's like a Donald Trump. And honestly, kind of felt like I was sitting down and having lunch with Donald Trump. And people paid for lunch with Donald Trump. This man paid me. And he bought my food. I mean, it was an amazing opportunity. So don't ever, ever, ever blow your blessings by being rude. Just take a step back, breathe, leave if you need to. Always step out the situation that's bothering you. And when you come back, you will be recharged, re-energized, and ready to get down to business. And that's exactly what I did. I stepped away. I came back. I was in a better mood. Just like that. And because I was in a better mood, I got to sit down and have lunch with a very powerful businessman who I felt like I should have paid him to have lunch with them, because that was an opportunity for me to learn and grow and really have a good, genuine conversation with somebody who I'm probably going to follow and track his business progress, because that's the type of life goals that I would want. Maybe not exactly, because he's kind of high level and I like work-life balance. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. But, those are type of aspirations that I would love to kind of mirror in some extent, in a lesser extent. So I was very impressed. I'm so glad I didn't let my attitude or my, what are you talking about? I'm so glad I didn't let my attitude or, perceived want to have attitude block a pretty cool experience for me. And I just want people to keep that in mind. Now, keep in mind, I said that I only waited because it was a direct client. If this had been a signing service, I would have been out of there. I wouldn't have cared how far I drove, how far I driven, or, whatever. I just would have been gone. I wouldn't have had the time or day for it. But again, that's why I don't take as much signing service work. I keep that very limited. But yeah, just keep in mind, do not block your blessings. Always be open and just be nice. It pays to be nice. I got a tip that I never take. I never take money, but I got a tip. I got a free lunch, and actually, this is my second free lunch that I've gotten in a week. And I've been a notary for 5-6 years, and I can count on the number of times that I've been offered lunch. So this is I'm winning this week. It's a pretty good week for me. Pretty good 7 days. But yeah, just be kind, be polite, be professional, and ask questions. That was an excellent opportunity for me, and I would have blew it if I was being rude or nasty because somebody was late. Thanks. Bye.